Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie is The Highwaymen. So it's available on Netflix, and it stars Kevin Costner and Woody Harrelson. Gotta watch it, right? I didn't even know what it was about until just now when I looked it up on IMDb. I've been waiting for the movie because Netflix releases them on Friday nights. Tonight's Friday, so I'll be releasing this tomorrow so that you know if you should watch it or not. But essentially it's two retired cops, or whatever, I believe they're retired, but they come out of retirement to catch Bonnie and Clyde. So it's Bonnie and Clyde movie with Woody Harrelson and Kevin Costner going after them. So I think it sounds cool. I mean, I like Bonnie and Clyde. I've seen some movies about them, and we all know about their legacy. And this has two outstanding actors in it, and it's Netflix, so it's free. So I'll get into it a little bit more and see if there's anything more I can tell you about it. It is 2 hours and 12 minutes, so brace yourself. But I'll let you know if it's worth watching. I can't believe that it wouldn't be. Netflix has been doing a phenomenal job with their movies. And again, if you subscribe to Netflix, it's free. You're probably going to want to watch it. But I'll do my best to give you as much information as I can, and we'll take it from there. Alright, I'll be back. Hey everybody, I want to do a quick check-in here. We're watching The Highwaymen. We're at the 1 hour, 1 minute and 42 second mark. So just about halfway through, an hour and 10 minutes left. And not much to tell. I'll be brief, but so Bonnie and Clyde are running havoc, and they call on Kevin Costner, who then goes and finds Woody Harrelson, and they're tracking Bonnie and Clyde. Some really quick thing, and that's really all it's about. So they're trying to find them and to stop them from all of the thievery and the robbery and the murder. And interestingly enough, like a lot of Bonnie and Clyde movies that I've seen, it's always from their perspective, and you're kind of like, you like Bonnie and Clyde. And everybody who refers to it as Bonnie and Clyde, they're just like, you know, they're stealing, robbing, and you know, they're boyfriend, girlfriend, married, whatever they are, but like it's kind of a cool story in a sense. And in this way, it's not. So it's from the perspective of the highwaymen in a sense, or these detectives or whatever they are trying to find them, but they're killing people in cold blood. You know, it's not the glorified Bonnie and Clyde story that we all come to know. This is more about really what, I don't know, it's their perspective, where they're not just robbing banks and taking money and everybody's happy at the end. It's they're killing people in, you know, in the middle of the street kind of stuff. So I think that's interesting. And then the other side of it that I don't like so much. So Kevin Costner and Woody Harrelson, who watched all of my movie career, watching them, and great actors, but they are a little bit older now, but they're portraying them as really old. They can't run very far, they're winded, you know, they don't even walk that well, that kind of thing. And it's kind of depressing to see that, and I liken it to the fact that my father-in-law was over tonight, and he was saying how he watched A Mule. So if you haven't seen that with Clint Eastwood, check it out. I've done a review on it, you know, check that out too. But you know, his comment was, good movie, but it's hard to see Clint Eastwood that way. This is the same kind of thing when you're seeing them. Woody Harrelson and Kevin Costner are in it, you know, I mean, you know, and they're making them really old. I mean, Kathy Bates is in it as well. I think she's the governor or something like that, and she seems healthier and younger than the two of them in this. So a little knock on that. But anyway, not much else to tell than this so far, and we'll see where it goes from here. There's a whole hour and 10 minutes left, so the chase will continue for a while. We don't even know who Bonnie and Clyde are yet. I mean, you know, we know who they are, but we haven't seen their faces, or, you know, you see them from a distance or from behind. So we don't know who's playing them or anything like that. And that's kind of intriguing. But that's it. I'm going to get back to it here a little bit more, and, you know, probably see at the credits and let you know what I think, and see if there's anything interesting else to tell you about. So stick around. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of The Highwaymen, and it was very good. I liked it a lot. I mean, it's a little long, and especially if you've seen my movie reviews, when I do a movie review on Friday nights after a long work week, or hitting happy hour, it's hard to stay awake. And I was afraid with this one, it's going to be really hard for me to stay awake. 2 hours and 12 minutes or whatever it was, but it didn't. It kept me awake. I was able to follow it, and it is, I don't know, at some points, I mean, it is them just chasing Bonnie and Clyde, and there's not a lot to it. But again, I was really interested in everything that they did, everything that they went through in order to find Bonnie and Clyde. And one of the things I always like about true stories is they show the actual pictures or something related to, the movie that's going on. And they do. They show they were ex-Texas Rangers. Woody Harrelson and Kevin Costner. I knew they were part of the law, but that's what they were, Texas Rangers that were disbanded and eventually brought back. But and how they went and found Bonnie and Clyde, and this is part of a true story, so I'm not going to spoil it for you. But they killed Bonnie and Clyde at the end, and shot the car all up and everything like that. And they kind of show the real life pictures of all of that kind of stuff. One of the other things that was lost on me prior to seeing this, and I'm sure I understood this while watching other Bonnie and Clyde movies, was the fanfare for them and how everybody idolized them. And they show them mobbing the car, and that's actually in the actual pictures that they show at the end. So really interesting. Another interesting fact, Woody Harrelson's character, Texas Ranger, he ends up dying December 14th, 1947. My mother was born December 15th, 1947. So that's kind of neat. It all happens in the 30s, and that's the one really cool aspect of it. And we'll be like, this is how they bring you back to the 1930s. With the cars, of course, that's there, but even the homes and the people and the way the wardrobes and stuff like that, I thought they did a great job of taking us back in time. I don't really pay that much attention to it because you don't always see these kind of dated movies, but I was focused on it this time, and I liked the different guns that they use and stuff like that. So good job there. The acting, enjoy the acting from Woody Harrelson and Kevin Costner. The only thing is the fact that they were old, and maybe that was because they were playing somebody, but it really, you don't like to see some of your heroes showing their age on the screen kind of thing. One other piece of it was there's this part in the story where it was fully developed. We're way into the movie, maybe an hour and a half into it, and Woody Harrelson tells a story about him and Kevin Costner's character, and it really provides depth to their character at this point. But I felt it was so late in the movie that it would have been more helpful early on to help us really relate to these two guys just a little bit more, and their history and stuff like that. That they have a history. They were partners together, but there's no proof or there's no discussion about things like that until that point. There is some, you can see that they get along well together and that they've worked together before, but you don't know that there's chemistry between them until you see that one piece of it, which I think they might have done a better job. You felt it though. It's cool because you really did feel that they were partners even without the backstory. So I like that aspect. Some movies, they really need to develop that piece, and they don't ever do that. They did it, but I think they did it a little bit late, but again, it wasn't needed between the two of them. So I thought they worked well together. And yeah, obviously worth watching if you have the extra 2 hours and 12 minutes to watch this movie. And a different perspective for Bonnie and Clyde. The movie was really about the Highwaymen, not about Bonnie and Clyde, but they were the whole purpose for the Highwaymen and the Texas Rangers tracking them and taking them down because of Bonnie and Clyde. But Bonnie and Clyde, from my knowledge or my what I've been what has been presented to me is that they're always they're just robbing banks. They're the Robin Hood of the 1930s, but this paints them in a completely different picture, and how there were murderous people leaving a wake of bodies in their path throughout their entire circle from Texas on through and around. So check it out. It's definitely worth watching. Let me know if you do. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think it was a little long? How did I do on my review? Did you relate to what I said? Whatever. Comment on the movie, anything like that. like to hear it, hit the thumbs up button, whatever. And tune in again to Kimmel's Irish Pub.